The very final map is upon us for the qualifiers. The second one's final spot. It remains between Blinn and Thinking Men to see who will be the last to join the VCL for the 2024 season. My name is Keg, and I'm joined back with Tenrek. Well, Sunset was a wild map, and it's weird to think that the only real major change we saw from the last time these two played on Sunset yesterday was the fact that Thinking Men on their defense slowed it down. They didn't overextend.
That was a lot of the notes that we were giving Thinking Men yesterday, wasn't it? A lot of rounds were so contingent on them just like lurk watching and losing the duel that came off of it, and they just didn't do that this time. They played even more reactively. They played to predict the rotations rather than the flanks, and surprise, surprise, when you play for the 4 instead of the 1, there's a good chance you'll get a lot of the 4. And Thinking Men did that over and over and over and over again. They just were so good at getting value, their bang for their buck every single time. I mean, you're seeing it on your screen over and over again. All of these players from Thinking Men got their chance to really shine, get their foot in the door, and have a good couple players just come waltzing their way. And yeah, clearly they did their research, they did their homework on this map. It is unabashedly theirs. Again, 14 times they have played this in their history. 14 times they have won. That is a crazy stat at any level, let alone one this high.
And remember, Thinking Men aren't egoing Sunset either. They're making those big adjustments. And that was a map that they had won too. So imagine seeing from yesterday a 13-10 scoreline going down to 13-5. What happens if we go to a map that Thinking Men lost yesterday? There has to have been so many changes that are going to be coming into Ascent that it's going to blow our minds, I hope. But Blinn, it didn't seem like they really changed much on Sunset. I'm a little worried that they may have been a little bit more lackadaisical going into Ascent and hoping that their general strats they brought out all throughout this qualifier is going to carry them through, and that makes me really nervous, Tenrek.
Yeah, could this be another case of Thinking Men having enough to work with in order to make this happen? Because, I mean, they're pretty practiced on Ascent even today. Both of the matches that they've played to get to this point today against the Saints and Ambrosia went to Ascent, and both times Thinking Men won pretty comfortably, including a 13-2 smattering on Ambrosia. That's ridiculous at this point in the tournament. So they feel good walking into this map, certainly. Against Blinn, it is going to be more difficult because Blinn's discipline, especially defensively on this map, is second to none. Their mid control was far better just because Okeanos was playing way better on that operator farther back rather than Paint, who was opting to just play a little more neutrally for the Seps. It didn't work out as well a lot of the time. But I think that, again, the adjustments have been made. Thinking Men are a team of players that experiment and know that they always have to shift. And walking into this matchup, that is what they are going to do. They want to get this done 2-0. They want to make it a 6-map day. That would be insane for them on their run to Challengers.
I mean, that'd be really nice to see. And of course, Mikey was a dominant force on this map as well.
Yes.
But let's see if there's any major changes going into Ascent. We have our agent select ready, and I have a good feeling we know what we're going to see already. But maybe a change, maybe a change. No, it's too risky at this point to see any major agent changes here. But going back to what we were saying before, Mikey, MVP for Blinn that last map, absolutely popped off. This was the map where he got an ace yesterday. This is his domain. Mikey's element, especially on that defensive side. Okeanos was more in his element, going back to his OG Jet. So this could still be in Blinn's favor. This is a very well prepared map for their side. But Thinking Men, if they can make such major adjustments on Sunset on a map they won from day to day, I'm expecting major changes from Thinking Men from both sides going into this matchup.
Yeah, this is going to be a very different Ascent that we see from these teams, despite the fact that, again, the vetoes and picks for this map order were the exact same, save for the fact that I think Blinn chose to start on the attack for Sunset this time around. I think that might have been the only change. I don't even know if that's a change.
I mean, get it out of the way.
Yeah, they know what they want to get done. Thinking Men are choosing to start out on the defense here, and I very much vibe with that choice with the way that they've been playing lately. They seem a little more defensively coded today. They feel very good about holding back and handing over the opening half of these sites to Blinn if it means that they can ultimately get a better crunch in the end. With Ascent, that's a little bit tougher. Your doors are a little bit more narrow. You don't have as many angles that you can sufficiently flank from as often, but it should be a very similar formula to what we saw get them to that 13-5 victory we just saw.
Oh, we gotta get our lungs ready, Tenrak. This is gonna be a fast and explosive and bloody pistol.
Summon Limo Doomy Lumi with some.
Rap God moment. Let's see. Flash. Oki's gonna dash on in right away.
Oh yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let's just get into it. Face to face, Okeanos hops into a fight with Lear, loses the majority of it. The Recon Bolt giving away a little bit of intel, but it's enough for Lear to actually stick the fight and go for more. Not enough. Reform now takes the reins, loses the bullet, so he's only good for 1-2. And so Blinn get even Steven trades up until they get on site, but the fight's not done yet. Vix wants to launch into this here and now because Anderson's already on lane and has grabbed that penultimate pick. On low health though, Vix has to come pick up the pieces, and it's not enough collective health to deal with Mikey, who yet again will clutch from the brink. Blinn take round 1.
Mikey has fused with Ascent B site. Like, he takes the dirt from Bowhouse, the mud, and just rubs it all over his hands, and he's magical on that site. I was saying this in the green room. I know I sound like such a Mikey fanboy, but low-key kind of am. He's gonna be on a major team in like a year, because again, I have never seen a Sentinel player hold B site the way he does, round after round, anytime, no matter his opponents, any tournament on this map. But that being said, though, Mikey, he had a stellar performance yesterday. He cannot be the only one carrying it through. Thinking Men, they went for the double swing. They guessed wrong. They went up against the demon himself. But this is a good chance off the tech pause to, again, reset those nerves. Give yourself an extra moment to prepare yourself. And you have to wonder here, for the defense, what Thinking Men has in store. They had the right read that first round on B site, stacking up KJ util and having the 3-stack setup, but they weren't able to consistently convert those kills either.
I don't think that there's anything they necessarily did wrong for it.
I don't think so either.
It just really comes down to hitting your shots a bit more and stuff like that. Like, you just have to trade positively, and Thinking Men, they lost one, and then they traded even the whole way, the rest of the way through, you know? Like, that was what it came down to.
It was just a Mikey diff.
It's true, and I mean, to Oak's credit, while he loses the opening shred of that, lane is completely open the second he just steps foot in there, so I think a well-practiced pistol round for Blinn, and I mean, they've proven that they know their pistol rounds a lot more than a lot of these other teams. I think, despite the fact that Thinking Men is now, even with them in maps, or no, actually now they're up 4-2 in maps, I think Blinn has won the majority of these pistols throughout all of their series.
Okay, Monty, parsing this out. Big problem we saw yesterday is a lot of teams with entry ignore logs, and this would be an instant ace for a lot of defenders.
Yeah, it's always a fun lurk to go for, and if there's anybody to do it, it's Paint. He can just warm up that tailwind whenever he wants to. Smoke to dissuade, though. So Blinn will, again, just try to poke the bear, see if it pokes back. But Thinking Men, they're elevated. They are higher minds. They just refuse to.
What is this, a quintuple crossfire?
Yeah, everybody's going to be staring the right direction. Somebody's staring at Paint. It's Okeanos. Grabs the opener, rest of Blinn will explode onto site, take logs themselves, and everybody locks in their sight line. Anderson only good for 1, and that's all that Thinking Men get. Blinn College round out round 2.
This is such a great start for Blinn, and a great reset after what happened on Sunset 2. Mental's not defeated, great communication, a great way to parsing out, again, Log's angle, which I thought, had we seen a fast aggression entry once again, usually ignored, Paint would have been able to find so many different kills. Not the case. A great reset too, faking out utility early round. Blinn, if they can continue this going, even though Thinking Men didn't necessarily fall for it this round, at least the utility is being prepped elsewhere. Fast aggressive round here with the flash, and to fake out this Jet's presence won't be the case. Odin, though, does set up for Lear. Doesn't find a lot, not even a little bit of damage.
Yeah, nothing.
Spike, though, not picked up just yet. A lot of the times we see this little divot past the alarm bot from attacking teams, then push in the tree for the A exec. We could possibly see Spaz pick up that spike eventually, bring it over to A main. But Oki has to unlock this round. Already pushed up deep into B main. Can't necessarily go there anymore without taking a fight. Paint's making sure of that.
Yeah, certainly not one to be tried. Oh, reform the bait. Paint's gonna poke out early, though. Is good for Oak, but not nearly as much connection as he maybe would have hoped for. Minor reposition for Reformed here. Oh, this is absolutely going to catch Monsi.
Huge. That's
a great sidestep. Little Cupid shuffle down B main. Only presence Blin's got left is up here in the doldrums of A site, where Thinking Men can apply pretty minimal pressure and get pretty maximal connection. Anderson for one.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Puts up turn.
30 seconds left.
I mean, where else is Spaz going to be? Anderson for the one. Well, how many does Mikey get this time?
Well, it's not B-side, so I'm not assuming any.
That's true. You do have a lot of space here. Lear can just fire freely, and then the rest of Thinking Men can come on back. But you do have turret, you do have alarm bot. You're maybe able to stall at least a little bit. Okay, how do you... Wow.
I was wrong.
Can he be wrong a second time? Clock's never broken twice, but Mikey's pretty broken. Almost makes it a 3. Keeps it so close, and that means that this bonus is very much worse for wear for Thinking Men. Mikey, once again, clocking in and clocking right back out.
I mean, look, the winning condition right now for Thinking Men is get rid of Mikey. But Mikey's the killjoy. He should be the back lines. He's been that anchor every single round now to ensure at least some impact's been made against Thinking Men, whether it be just angles or even map space. This time around, economically, shutting down a lot of Thinking Men. It's not going to be the best buys in the world for the next few rounds. That being said, though, I almost saw a reality with that simple replay where Mikey could have gotten the spray transfer. But you know what? Blinn now has lockdown round 4. They have to, whatever they want to do, not worry about Lear's Hunter's Fury just yet. They could fast push A with this lockdown here, and Thinking Men have no choice but to respect that space.
Yeah, never really a better time to use the ultimate here, I think. Just twist that knife into this first quarter economy for Thinking Men. Fiscally, they'll just be completely, like, their drive is just going to be totally gone.
Will we see the lockdown, though? Looks like Mikey should be setting up for it.
Easy setup. No. Wow, yeah, no, it's that they're not going to commit to this lockdown. They're just going to take side dry. Maybe they think that yeah. I feel like maybe Thinking Men, or Blinn expect that Thinking Men are playing for the lockdown, so maybe they just have that space guaranteed. And I mean, they sort of do. 4v5 for site retake is not unheard of. 3v5 is a little tougher, though. Paint hops on, grabs that high ground wantonly. Mikey has yet to be cleared. Spaz has the crossfire from hell. This is often the toughest part to hold down, so Reformed has to turn on to Jen, and Lear's just going to fire blindly into this. Let the sidearm fly. Be that body to throw at the problem that is Spaz. He is the final problem, though, and so Thinking Men, they have enough manpower to deal with it and tie things up again.
I'm a little surprised we didn't see that lockdown come out from Mikey. Even if it was back site, we saw a lot of teams so far in the late end of the qualifiers benefiting from putting that lockdown just around Jenny. The Odin has a hard time destroying it. Hunter's Fury wasn't activated by Lear just yet. There was no stopping power to drive that space away, and that allowed Thinking Men, the lack of an O, to flood the site, especially Lear's Odin, to remove any of these power positions like hell. Okay, here we go again. Lear has that Odin. Keep an eye on him. There is no gun except those 2 sheriffs that can shut down this initial spray from B main. Just based off of timing, though.
Deploying drone.
And right away, I think Blinn have to recognize that. Taking that mid control, seeing what's up there on a thrifty round where there's not really much at stake.
And not too much to lose on this first end. Thinking Men can't say the same. Lear would love to hold on to this Odin. So once he loses a good amount of his health, or once he's dealt with this first fight, he'll reposition, make sure Anderson can take the front line again. And just goes to show, Paint does not need to be in the picture for it to be beautiful. Anderson can rotate with literally anybody, and Lear is more than willing to take that. But Paint still wants to get in at least one. He will. Poke away at Spaz. And Blinn, ultimately, searching for something, but Thinking Men never give them anything to find.
I think it's good information for mid at the very least. I mean, of course,
Certainly.
Adjustments will probably come out this round. I'm assuming no alarm bot in mid this round. Okay. I guess it wasn't enough pressure for Thinking Men to think, okay, we need to make sure mid's under lock. We need that info presence. So what could very well happen is Paint could be rocking mid yet again. We could see the Sova's presence. Ah, there it is. Flash comes out B main. We're going to see that gigantic peak come out from Paint and the Odin spray from Lear as well. That's going to shut down anything B main.
Ooh, Paint wants smoke this time. Hunter's Fury actually gets a little bit of chip on a Mikey. Ooh, okay. There you go. That's a little bit of damage coming from Lear.
Good
playing for the tree.
Oh, timing. Oh, Vix. Pixels off. The fake dash too.
And that might give away B site at a crucial period in time where Paint wins it out on 2. Oh, goodness me.
Is Vix aware? Does he know? Oh, off of the running, he has to now.
Yeah, that will probably give it. I actually don't know if that's audible.
Does Blinn know about Vix?
Certainly not. Well, Vix didn't know about Vix for a second there. I mean, that was just really unfortunate. Okay, now he definitely hears it. That's 2 pairs of steps into lane. Monty just hops in. Okeanos attempting to take the fight. Vix can deny that too. So, Mikey clutch this time? No. Okay.
No.
Wow.
We're holding our breath each time. I mean, again, I can't stress this enough. The last time we had seen Mikey play on this same exact matchup, he almost outfranked Okeanos. I think it was a difference of 2 kills, and it might not sound like a lot, but comparatively speaking, you're looking at 25 kills from Oki and 23 from Mikey too. Really brought Blinn into that 3rd map, just, you know, kicking and screaming. But again, we're seeing the same issues as Sunset. Thinking Men are not necessarily overextending each round. There are more than the Sunset, but they're playing it so safely. And even then, having a complete read on Blinn, just giving away a little bit of map space, and relying on these giant spray downs and spray transfers.
Thinking Men have already grabbed the amount of defensive rounds they got last time they played Blinn. And it looks like they're on the road to get more. Anderson swinging into tree, grabbing the 2. That is, again, just such better value. And the macro from Thinking Men is starting to really level up. It was slow in the pistol, but they've started to get the read earlier and earlier, and Blinn are not answering in kind. Total shutdown for round number 7.
I mean, the macro for Thinking Men right now isn't really that complex. It's like, okay, where do we see them at the beginning of the round? Okay, we'll go to that lane. Because the only times we see really big, like, grandiose rotates from Blinn in this matchup is, like, mid-round. And because of just the util presence, the bodies left alive, generally we're seeing players like Paint just take that anti-spacing. You want to rotate? That's completely fine. We're going to take the space that you willingly gave up for that rotate and catch you off guard when you want to try to fake us out. That's why Paint got such a monstrous kill and really just changed the round completely for Thinking Men, what, 2 rounds ago, right by Catwalk? That's exactly what you want. Huh. You know, round 4, right? 4 rounds ago, we've doubled the round since then. Mikey first acquired that lockdown. Still in his possession.
That's a great point.
I mean, by now, you know, there's a reality where he could have gotten that lockdown twice. Holding on to it at this point is more of a liability. Those red pings on A site must mean this should be a fast entry. Null command, lockdown, Hunter's Fury over there. It should be. And I think Thinking Men recognize that too with the usual suspects of ultimates. That's why it's such an aggressive presence here right away from Paint.
Yeah. Again, this is both teams having the right idea, but it's the execution that matters more than anything at this stage. Thinking Men do expect the push, which ultimately is what Blinn might need to do at this stage in order to find any action. Just let that lockdown go. There's already 5 Thinking Men on the field. You don't need to overcook. Especially if Paint is going to start poking his head out. Okeanos, once again winning the duel. He never stopped doing that.
Okay, good response. Wow. Yeah. Vix is all the way in heaven. Pops out the no command, doesn't make a step, and that's enough to drive Blinn over the B site. Surely now this is where the lockdown should make its appearance. Lear, set up and ready. Could maybe Odin, not only just the entry, but also the lockdown if he's willing to take that risk.
Yeah, it's a question of how much Lear wants to commit to this defense. Does he want to die trying? It looks like he's just going to hold it down, yeah. Oh, unfortunate timing. Could have just kept the spray. Lear is like, darn, I should have held down my mouse button longer while using that gun. Next time, I will not make the same mistake.
I mean, that's really like the life of an Odin wielder, right? Oh, that timing! And there's been a lot of wild timing from Blin's end on B site. Retaken form now. Now Reformed has the lockdown. There is the counterplay from Monsi. You want to get rid of that Hunter's Fury, bring out the lockdown.
Not in a prime position to do it, though, but he's going to get in front of it. You need to clear out Mikey here now, right? You should. Hunter's Fury from Boathouse.
Oh, no.
And Anderson clears that mega quick. That's insane. Yeah, lockdown's not even necessary at this stage. Anderson's just going to be able to hold Spike. And Mikey can't even beat Vix. That is a clinic here on B site.
That was a 3-person retake, too. Only one body had fallen on Blin before that spike had gone down. Both of the... I'm trying to think of the right words here. Both of the primary anti-entries for Thinking Men died barely without converting kills. Lear did. He got that first Odin kill. Paint wasn't able to find anything. And even then, all it took was a 3-person retake to shut down all of Blin. A 4-round differential. Thinking Men already solid for the half. This was their big struggle on Ascent last time. They barely got any defensive rounds won. Paint. Mad aggression. He's gonna splatter the walls. Jackson Pollock it. No? Oh, packing away. Oh yeah, you like that one?
No.
No? Aw, dang.
Chat did. They're gonna have a field day with that one, man.
He's a good artist.
He's great. He's done amazing work. So have Reformed and Vix. Another just total shutdown. Good ideas, still the whole way through from Blin, but none of them materializing into anything of note. Thinking Men, this is, again, reads on a much larger scale than the previous matchups that we've seen them, go through. Even today,
yeah,
they've just been very ahead of it.
It's realistically, it's just that Thinking Men did their homework. Like, they really studied Blin. It's one of those games where you sit here analytically and you're like, this is just a complete counterplay. Like, they know exactly what the strat book for Blin looks like, and it kind of reveals the depth of it, too. There needs to be more mid-round adaptations. There needs to be more less structured plays from Blin's side. They keep going for these big textbook level plays, and, well, sometimes you need to wing it.
Yeah, Blin has neglected playing off of instinct, which is crazy when you look at their roster.
The nerves. It has to be
Nerves not playing.
Oh, come on, man. You got me there for a second. I'm like, what do you mean?
Scanning ahead.
Oh, geez. Good information found there by Lear. Driving everyone away from B site. Paint still having that outwards angle. And it's just a stall for another minute. If Anderson can find this pick, if anybody can find a pick here.
Oh, big collapse onto Paint. No kill happening there. Operator marooned in front of the box on Heaven. And now the rest of the pressure can start. This is where Blin can actually get that pressure going. As long as Anderson doesn't make things a little more complicated, he'll only get one. Fix the exit from the smoke, though. Keeps it steady. Monsi now has to hold on to Catwalk a little bit longer as Spaz will make his way over. At such low health, Lear calls that an easy finish. All of a sudden, a 1v2 for Blin. And Spaz certainly cannot play off of instinct now. Needs to be cold and calculated, and that's a good start. Throwing the smoke onto A site. That is the minimal noise that he can make in order to force the remaining members of Thinking Men to stay on A site so we can at least get that booster seat of credits coming forward with the spike, but it will be by the skin of their teeth.
How was that alarm bot not activated?
I don't know.
That was weird.
Yeah, let's just dive in. Let's just get it over with.
This is a complete read. Like, usually there's like, okay, it's the util this early round, communication issues, but no, Blin aren't objectively playing bad. It's just that the timing from Thinking Men has been literally impeccable. Like, this is the best timing I've seen this whole tournament. Look at the rounds. It's what? I can't do numbers
That's
very
eight.
well.
That's eight straight rounds.
Oh, gotcha. I have to go back to preschool after this. But 8 rounds in a row, shutting Blinn down completely. And it's not like Blinn are necessarily doing the same thing over and over. They have that strat book, right? It's been studied, but they are changing it up. They're trying different things, different people in the 4-1s, different 2-3s, whatever division you can do. It hasn't been enough. Let's see here again. Fast and aggression yet again. Allowing that Odin spray once more. Great info gap. Oki's gone.
Sweet.
The flash there from Vix was incredible to enable not just Paint, but also Lear. The teamwork here from Thinking Man is Challengers level.
They're certainly ready for it. 5 rounds away. How sweet a victory it would be after the long haul they've been through today. But Blinn's defense has yet to really make too much of a statement. It hasn't had to, because Blinn did so dang well on Ascent last time, they didn't need to speak too freely on it.
Yeah.
Who knows what happens when the tables turn?
That's a good point. We don't really know just yet. A lot of the errors of that last matchup was just the duelist not really having that activation. Oh, but Lear. Oh no.
This is a great place for an Odin to be. This is such a great place for an Odin to be.
One enemy remaining.
Give this man his ace.
Another
Pretty
ace?
please. Aww.
That lot was trash.
Now that's a right shame.
Wow. I mean, again, like, what is there to say that hasn't already been said? It's just a big, gigantic read from Thinking Men, and Blinn have no response. Literally none. They try to set up on B site. It's their preferred site. Vix goes for the flash. It enables Lear to get that opening pick, like we just saw. And then even if that doesn't work, Paint is there on B main. They know exactly what Blinn want to bring out before the round even starts. Look at those pings. Defensively set up. That's Paint already set up for the anti-entry just for Oki. Hunter's Fury for Lear. He's within distance to do it. Maybe not so much now, but he could have been.
Paint's gonna make this call out, and there it is. Ooh, Okeanos toying with Paint to allow Monsi to grab the free frag. And Lear will not connect super heavily on this Hunter's Fury from the distance, so Thinking Men are a bit piecemeal at the moment for this retake. If Blinn get it to a cursed scoreline, after all of that, honestly, that might be all the mental reset I need. Like,
I will draw on valuable information. Keep in mind, Lear has that Odin. Could destroy and pierce anybody in hell.
big entry to allow for Anderson to go for the TP, so you have at least 2 angles from heaven. Lear's going to use the first one to crack down hell, but Spaz has his eyes peeled for the drop. One that he will win. But now the entry from the rest of it, and Vix has been on fire so far this map. It's just going to let the null command fly for good measure onto the remaining members, including Mike, who's still holding it down on main. Reformed is just going to hold Spike and can't do it. Enough time wasted by Blinn, enough space gained, and just enough to get around at the bitter end of the half.
Oh, but like you said, glass half full. Blinn, they don't have a lot of margin for error. This pistol round has to go in their favor. If you're looking at 10-3, the bold choice would be into this next round, do you force buy or do you not force buy? But if Blinn can convert this round and they get the leverage of weaponry this early on, that could be the snowball effect needed to bring it to an even game. Thinking Men, though, default Ascent lineup, having the KJ lurk across mid-round back to A site. Timing's there, though. We have seen in the past, Teague has been very interesting when it comes to his suppressing knife. A lot different from most other KOs on this same position. Sometimes it goes in deep behind the A main corridor where Thinking Men are now. Sometimes it's very delayed. Oh, comes out instantaneously, but it does enable a little bit more space for these defenders to push up.
Oh, this is so far up. Teague and
can't flash
Okeanos. This is going to be a backyard brawl that a flash is tossed in for, along with the paranoia. Thinking Men were not prepared for the double down. Is Okeanos prepared for the rest of the onslaught? It appears so. Can grab one more before dipping back. And so Blinn trade very positively in that opening interaction. Another amazing execution of the pistol round specifically. They have shown here so far. Reformed cannot land any of the shots on the double swing from Catwalk either. Opportunities dwindling in what is Blinn's strongest area of these games against Thinking Men, regardless of victory or defeat.
Remains, though, of the attack incredibly low. Divide and conquer. Monsi Owl Drone reveals at least one critical piece. That's both. Good pistol again, great conversion from Blinn, and like you said, good push-up from the one-way initially in A main. A flash was there, communication, teamwork out to get those early double kills. And yeah, I mean, we could be having a similar situation where maybe these default strats from Ascent are not going to work out for any attacking team. What's the setup here for Thinking Men this next round? A little bit more parsed out than before. Defaulty at that too. It's not really too different away from BC. They have the read that they think that Thinking Men are going to put more pressure on B site, and that's why we see the appearance of Oki. And mid could be the way to go. Actually, no, look at those attacker pings. This is going to be a complete collapse of tree. Or will it? Early knife goes down. Does enable, again, that slow push from Okeanos. No flank watch either for Thinking Men.
Oh, big knife.
Destroyed.
Team has to back out. This is the rushdown from Thinking Men. They were waiting for their signal, their sign, and they've got it. Paint the opening 2 frags. Thinking Men have minor advantage, but can't really scope out any angle other than the one that's in front of them. Luckily, that happens to be the one that's going to spike, so Anderson the plant, Thinking Men the post up. Ultimately, slight advantage, but the high ground and the gun advantage still blends. So they've got to really set up shop and hold those lines. A lot of commitment to smaller angles, heavier chokes. And it leads to a lot more connection in the short run that Blinn can just ride the high of just enough to keep one alive and net Blinn College their 5th.
Oh, Mikey again, just circumventing these smokes. That last kill was through his smoke too, a complete pre-fire. Great retake. I was so nervous at first too, because we talked about the better weaponry, despite the body disadvantage inside that heaven retake. Okeanos had the outlaw, and even an operator struggles so much of that upwards to down angle, unless you're playing an A main. Fighting Jenny in hell is pretty much a death sentence if you're retaking with an operator, but there was Monty to save the day. Ares in tow. The LMG op meta has worked so well. To an extent, I suppose, in the last few months, redefine this map, but of course that strat's existed for a long time, just not as aggressive as this.
Yeah, certainly not, but Blinn are really trying to lean into that aggression. It's what got them so far in the previous match as well. Just understanding how to counter whatever frontline Thinking Men were set up with a bigger one of their own. And when you have these players that are so much more enabled in this environment, then they feel a lot better in it. Mike, just staying so stable, so stalwart, good for 2. In such a unlucky position, honestly, for that push. Still able to find a mountain of damage from it.
Oh, but if you're Blinn, you might be able to get some weapons at the top of Marketplace. Reform should be able to make sure that won't be a possibility. Big case of timing here, though, especially off of Oki.
Standing ahead.
Monty certainly wants it, so they'll have to clear the board first. With the smoke, they're able to do that. First shot taken by Oki. Sprays through, though, are enough. And while Spaz can grab a gun, can he grab much else? I don't know, man. Vix is kind of low, so you can at least finish that. Ooh, 6! Wing, man! All of a sudden, it's a 1v1 in a smoke. Reform cannot properly spray through that. 1 ship of damage. Nanoswarm might be a little too late. No, Spaz abandoned ship and is on low health. 1 more swing through. Reformed was a little late for the bus. And the timing is not perfect. Blinn College, a clutch for the ages to make it a 6-9 game.
What is happening? It's these 1v1s now. Sunset was all about the team play, and now we throw that out the window here. It's just round after round of these wild brazen plays. The setup for Thinking Men should have been perfect, especially Reform's position. He knew where that initial gunfight came by. He knew the weaponry from BC was much lower. The Nanoswarm should have been perfect, but it came out too late. The timing was nearly all for naught. And Thinking Men go for their timeout here. They go for it fairly early on. Normally, a lot of teams in these qualifiers, they would be waiting to maybe a 9-8 scoreline or even 9-9 before they bring it out. This is going to be a lower buy for them, so it makes sense that they want to employ the next round strategy after this upcoming one. The problem is that both these teams are so heavily reliant on gunplay and just really dividing angles again that it's really hard to make a good on-the-fly strategy just to have that in mind. Like, you know Mikey's going to be holding B-side. He's a demon at that. But he's also been showing up on A too. So this is a reset for Thinking Men to go back to the basics and be like, okay, can we just take mid-control?
I kind of...
Oh, the operator?
Oh, yeah. No, we're getting right into it.
Oh. Oh, this read. This is a read for both teams. KO's gonna flash outside into tiles. Oki's gonna swing. There are 4 inside B main. They should be able to trade out Oki only if one falls. No, the early smoke. That gives everything away. Oki's forced to reposition.
Yeah.
That's pressure if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, now Teague has to just hold it against this triple swing that's going to pop out from Thinking Men, and the slim margin for timing gone, burned to a crisp. Now Blinn have to prepare for the pinch, but Thinking Men are quick to the punch. They'll jump right in, grab the opening, and now Monsi has to spray and pray for his life, which is not much longer for this world. If Thinking Men have anything to say about it, do they have enough to say? No, Okeanos, the swiftly, they are cut off man, is able to grab 2 for Blinn's sake, and with the market door open, Thinking Men have no portal back out. They have to stick the fight, and they simply can't with the guns that they have. Slight advantage gone in an instant, and Blinn make it 7-9.
Thinking Men have not won a single attacking round on this map. Both teams are struggling on the attack so much. And Blinn, they got it out of the way. They looked pretty dang good on Ascent last time around. Maybe not so much the best showing this time, but we flipped the script. It's not attacker-sided anymore. This is a defender-sided map once again. And if it continues to be like that historically, Ascent, when it's defender-sided for both teams, does go into OT. But Thinking Men, they have to get the leverage to get something going, at least one round. Double digits. Their 4 spies are back out again, and one already spotted. It's Anderson.
Poke himself out for the swing. The high-low works for only 1. And they can at least grab the lane for the null command. And with Reformed already posted for lobby, Thinking Men can make this rotation happen relatively quickly. They will scurry back over through T, and Blinn have slightly shifted. Their feet are closer to A.
Null command? Surely the null command rush comes out here, right?
Must be.
You have to make sure there's no opportunities for spacing for Blinn to get back on site. You really want to deny Oki from getting that defender spawn angle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta really deny Oki presence here. Monsi, though, is the one who's there instead and can guarantee Reformed before the rest of Thinking Men will run back onto site.
30 seconds left.
Okeanos will be forced to play from the back end with this operator, so as long as Thinking Men just don't peek it, then they should be pretty chill for at least that portion of the fight, but still so much on this laundry list. So they'll try to get ahead of it. Paint invasion early to get rid of the steps. Paranoia toss back in retribution. Lear scurrying all the way back to Boathouse after a huge spray onto lane. So Thinking Men very slowly but surely giving away the space, enough for Oki to hop on and start taking bodies. Fragged back from Vix, but the attention diverted long enough for Mikey to clean up the rest. And Blinn College, another round in the books for them here on the defense.
It's rough to lose your smokes as the opening pick. Without Anderson, it makes B site, actually it makes both sites really difficult to push. But Paint did have those smokes, and it did help for a little bit, but look, you see Cloudburst come through, you hear the tailwind, you hear the rush of footsteps. That is an Odin wielder's dream come true. And getting just shut down, Monsi found so much impact into that last round. Had Anderson stayed alive, the smokes came down Marketplace and Defender spawn, that could have been a different story. You would have blocked out the 2 biggest hitters of this matchup. But it wasn't to be. 9-8 now. Normally when you would see the Thinking Men timeout. Came out so much earlier than that.
Revealing area.
Blinn, expectations, B-side to push yet again. Early knife doesn't spot a whole lot, possibly just Anderson. This is some really interesting bait though. Back to tree. Blinn have seen this a million times now in the qualifiers. The split pushed from tree to A.
But they've met it a lot earlier in the past, so Thinking Men have to do a lot of opening work and then go for the swift execute, and this time it doesn't work at all! Teague, hello! Back and forth we go for the 4-piece and the tie game, all out of nowhere. No, go on, color that.
Oh, I'm thinking right now.
No, come on, color it. Go on.
I'm thinking, Tenrex. So it's like, you haven't won a single round on this attack. And it's the same issues that Blinn had. You are just rushing in double swing, spray transfers galore. You can't predict those plays. You really can't. And so now, I think even honestly, they have to play for picks. Paint is changing it up. He's not entering anymore. Off for off, duel for duel. A missed shot from Oki. I could have sworn that would have connected against Paint. A blessing in disguise to get rid of at least one heavy hitter. Now, The second part of the plan. Get rid of that Odin. That has been a thorn on your side.
Ooh, good flash to toss for Blinn to adjust their rotation. Keep 2 at least on B here. Keep it locked down now that Thinking Men have that arguable control.
Yeah.
They would rather let them soft breach and just enter through the doors, a narrower way in,
Take flight.
than try to take that wider fight that they could flank for.
You gotta keep this body advantage, though. Can't get spray transferred.
That's a big paranoia. Great pressure on 2 fronts. That Thinking Men can make a full reality, an entire collapse. Of course, Mikey is going to grab his. You know, that's, unfortunately, that is just the reality of the situation. But I don't think he'll be able to grab another one
Spike
here.
planted.
I say, knowingly caster cursing.
All lane. Mikey's silent. No utility to work with at all.
It's Paint. It's Mikey. For a second. Lear is able to grab it and the operator back. So the streak has ended, but has the dominance from Blinn really? Or did Oki just accidentally press D before mouse? You know?
It's a tough call, because that was a pretty spellbinding round from Thinking Men. They were able to parse out, again, just the critical plays. You got rid of Okeanos first. You were able to remove Monsi eventually. You got lucky in having the right read that Mikey would be playing not on B site. And so really you're just playing for picks again. Default, play for picks, look for that body advantage, double swing together, just catch your enemy off guard. And so early smokes go down. That's going to block at least the flash coming out from Teague. Paint, though, is taking a different angle. Full expectation was the big rush that Oki would push into mid with an operator. Not the case. Okay. That's an interesting ping. What is that for? Could it be the Hunter's Fury? It would be a lineup, but I've never seen a Hunter's Fury from Catwalk in the marketplace.
Yeah, it's far too vulnerable for the Hunter's Fury.
No, it can't be.
I have no idea what that ping is for.
Great info
but,
gain, though.
yeah.
Spot out the Sova. There's got to be more members nearby. You wouldn't solo with the Sova.
Oh, Paint's just gonna eat this alarm bot, see if anybody peeks out through market, but it's been fully abandoned here.
Teague still has both flashes. Monsi still with a recon bolt too. A lot of utility being saved by Blinn here. They need some sort of concrete information. Mikey's playing a dangerous game. Another angle. A lot of attackers do not check. Top of marketplace. 35 seconds left now. The last second bounce. Reformed, lockdown in play. Monsi, Hunter's Fury.
There's the Hunter's Fury. Lear looking for the responsive lockdown, and he'll find it. And Vixen Paint will use that to get onto site pretty easily. Teague spraying through the smokes, grabs his. But is that all that Blinn is going to be able to find? Paint, risky spot here with the operator, but it's enough to deal with Oki. He's not prepped for it whatsoever. Teague is, but Paint has enough cover to miss a shot. Head back over and just keep that pressure going passively. Now it's a waiting game for Spaz, who will waltz into market to deal with Paint. That should open things up for Teague. Nope, Anderson's ready. And from there, it's a 3v1 that Thinking Men are very poised to win. Is Spaz trying to fake grabbing the operator to see if anybody peeks? I think for a second he was, but...
Smart.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a great idea. But Vix is going to grab that kill, make it an 11-9 game. Thinking Men 2 rounds away from grabbing this challenger spot.
I mean, great way of parsing out again, Blinn, eating up that utility, as you mentioned, keeping all of Blinn's defense on their feet, and again, waiting until the last second, flooding and overwhelming one side for the defense. Blinn, they don't need to change a lot with this timeout. Again, you're potentially 2 rounds away from losing your qualifier spot into VCL. Again, I feel like this timeout is for nerves. Just take a deep breath. In with your nose, out with your mouth, or vice versa. I don't remember. I don't breathe very much.
No, I think it's in nose, out mouth, yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Bamonsi, Hunter's Fury's in play. A lot of ults to work with here. Now, if you're looking to play slow yet again, Vix does have null command for that reflood in. Surely that's what Blinn's looking out for. This is their second and final timeout in the qualifiers to work off of. They may just very well stack a site. If that's how Thinking Men want to play, they go slow, they want to take extremity control, Paint's going to ego these dry peaks, then yeah, let's hold a site, baby. Let's go trade for trade, blow for blow, and make the rest of these rounds scrappy.
Yeah, it sucks because Blinn has been so good at playing keep away on these front lines. It's great because initially, like, they kind of faltered when they were like, okay, let's just play Sunset like Ascent. But now they're coming in here and they're saying, guys, hear me out. What if we played Ascent a little like Fracture? And they've been taking these lanes way more often than one normally tends to on the defense, and they're gonna do it again. Okeanos is just gonna waltz into this. With the help of the Hunter's Fury, he's boosted a little bit. Lear is blocked out here, and with the fragment, Teague is able to fish him. What an effort to make to find the opener, but it works.
Yeah, I mean, you're pulling teeth getting that fragment nade kill, but yeah, you got rid of Sova. Now you don't have to worry about the recon bolts anymore. Still that stack up on A, slow rotation back over. Teague's role now is to float. Has one flash available, Monsi. The make or break.
Take flight.
Owl Drone's really risky here.
Incredibly risky. Is it a... Yeah, all right. I guess he's trying to find a tag for the rest of the team, but... Yeah, Thinking Men have the opening, and Okeanos boxed out with the Nano Swarm, so no one will fall on the way to site. Just take a little bit of extra chip. And that has tended to be the difficult part. Blinn College, that opening effort was really good, but now what do you do for the retake? You still... don't have this operator, but Okeanos is very willing to play this front line now. He's a little bit tired of losing,
I think. 2 flashes in total for the defense.
Ooh, Anderson.
That's one. That's both.
Yeah, that's all the flashes spent for Anderson. Oh, the link entry from Vix. Onto lane we go. 2 down. First tap from Teague. They actually try to pay attention to Spaz first. Paint tries to go for the off. And Teague's just going to be able to hold this. Yeah, Spaz can just wait for Reform to pop his head out. And it'll work. Blinn College stabilized, grab their 10th.
Oh, Blinn are playing so risky right now. They're playing so high risk, high reward, at least in the early 30 seconds or so. I mean, Teague got that fragmentation kill. We saw Oki try to push out, trying to use the Hunter's Fury to lure away some of these attackers out of B site. And even when they double down, right, the contingency plan for Blinn was to flood retake. Not really any major changes that they haven't done in the past. But B site was too comfortable for Thinking Men. Now they're going to readapt back over to A site, but look at this response from Blinn. It's the Flash Odin Peak up special again. That won't really find a whole lot.
There it is. Yeah, Blinn just very willing to lean out of this and let Monsi spray it down. Wow. I mean, sometimes you just gotta bury your teeth, yeah, bury your teeth, and
yeah, mine are in the
grit your teeth and bear it. Grit your teeth and bear it. That's the way you say it. Oki's back on the up and uses it to win the Ditto out. Now can play from tree basically whenever he wants to. Ooh, Anderson out of the frying pan into the fire. 2 mollies spent on his exit out of heaven, the pressure spot, and it leads to everyone on Thinking Men in panic mode, scrambling to find an angle again, but it's Lear that finds the opening one, and it's the Hell play that, of course, as always, is the most effective, but it's only good for 2, and Spaz can have the cutoff on the re-entry from Tree from Reformed. Yet again, the leading man lagging, and Blinn equalizing. Make a wish, everybody. We're tied at 11.
I mean, look, Paint falling first is huge, but even then, Thinking Men aren't connecting their shots anymore. Vic was a perfect example. Any other round, had it not been this close, he would have been able to get that spray transfer and gotten rid of Okeanos much sooner. But nah, dude. Not quite the case. Now, keep in mind, too, this is not the end of the road for Thinking Men. If they cannot convert this game, there would still be Game 3. The same Game 3 that went to overtime between these two teams just yesterday. The flash comes out yet again. Same default setup for Blinn's over-aggressive attack that has worked out super well thus far. Oh, this could be a great anti-Oki play, though. No one's on tiles. Secondary approach. Paint was ready for it. That's the op gone. One critical figure you don't have to worry about now. You can't pick up that operator either. It's in no man's land.
Reformed was staring at it, drooling a little bit, and he's actually punished by the Owl Drone, but the double swing out from mid-archway! They baited me up! That's such a gorgeous punish. That's awesome, dude.
I mean, that alone is genius from Blinn. That is the type of shots you see in Challengers.
That's so smart. And now Teague is perfectly content with holding the back line of CT, especially if Reformed can't land the shot. What a massive surge back from Blinn College. I mean, that was such a that was such a gorgeous tapestry of a play that Anderson has to come back from hard if he wants to, you know, avert this game point for Blinn, the break point that would take them back to map 3 after Thinking Men have made it so much farther this time on Ascent. They are so close to Challengers. but they might have to play the long game again.
20 seconds. Ult available.
Good for one of these. Oh, unless Teague just flicks, which he's been crazy on that, dude.
It's the gunfight diff this time. Thinking Men have always had that advantage over Blinn, especially on Sunset, and I thought for sure it could continue into the second half of Ascent, but no. Blinn, even when their initial play with Oki having been all the way through mid with that operator shut down, still the follow-up from who was a Teague there was so good. Always a plan in mind for Blinn. Always a plan. And once more, Thinking Men potentially now going to map 3. They have to convert this next round to bring it to overtime. Right away, Paint does something different. An elevated angle. Spotting out now, Okeanos is not available in mid. He's pushed up aggressively somewhere, but where? That turret being spotted might be the answer wire. But can there be the trade? Reforms have a dangerous task ahead of him.
How long does he want to keep it? I think he might quit early. Yeah.
He's going for it.
He's just gonna go into courtyard. Okeanos wants it and finds it! Anytime he has a moment of reprieve, he's just able to light up this kill feed. Rest of Blinn see that as the opportunity to maybe collapse, but Paint has somehow skirted all of that attention. And while Blinn knows that there's somebody in their hair, they don't know who or where. Mikey! The one caught with the knife out Paint! Beautiful micro adjustment! And this might save the game for Thinking Men. They're aware. Teague is waiting, but Paint is watching. 3 now for the Jet.
No.
Who's in hell? Paint's asking that question. It's not is somebody in hell. It is who's in hell. It's Spaz. Misses the first shot. Paint adjusts up on the cloud burst.
Ace?
Are you joking right now? And Okeanos has to save face. Has blades. Has an up. Has 3 more bodies to deal with. But there is a Paint who wants an ace right now. He wants it bad. No! Oh, Okeanos! Somebody's getting an ace. Somebody's getting an ace here. And it's for the sake of Spike. Paint has to win this fight. Okeanos could just leave. Okeanos is going to sacrifice the ace. So Paint can't win it. Blinn win on time. Blinn win on time. 13-11. We're going to map 3 in the dumbest, smartest, craziest way possible. We go to split.
What's happened? The entire plan for that last round for Thinking Men was, okay, well, Paint got all the way past tree, right? So let's bait out rotates, but...
Can we go to break, please? We're gonna. Yeah. I think we're gonna go to break, guys. I think
we gotta set up split.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon. We gotta recover.
face.